Hi folks, super quick market update. Over the weekend, there was a big announcement by the US regarding China tariffs, now slashed to 30% with a 90-day moratorium, and the markets have rallied. This is just a quick note on the Nasdaq and the S&P, some of the names, and you'll notice that the Nasdaq's already up significantly this morning, and we've moved up towards that 21,000 level at the 78.6% Fibonacci level, which I talked about before. I've now taken profit on the long side of the hedge, which I entered down here, and I'm looking to sell somewhere up into this region around 21,000. Now, what I think will happen is when traders come into the offices and hedge funds and that sort of thing, institutions, there won't be any sellers around. I don't think the fund managers will allow their traders to go short on many of these markets. In fact, the question will be, well, look what's going on. Market's up, tariffs are down, all looks good, hunky-dory. We need to be buying this market. What are you going to be buying? That's what they'll be asking their traders. They'll be going, maybe Tesla up over $300 already, maybe Nvidia, maybe the indices, who knows. But what I think is going to happen is that we'll see this pump up at the beginning of the market at the open above maybe 21,000. We're not far from there now. And then a sudden move down or a correction. Nevertheless, I do think we'll have a correction here anyway, but if we do enter the bear scenario, we could be very close to the next high, the next top, the lower high on the Nasdaq. Same goes for the S&P, and I'm really just going to cover these stock markets and a couple of other things right now in this very short video. So the S&P has also moved up into my blob. There's the 78.6% fib. We haven't quite got there yet, as we haven't done so also on the, that sounded weird, as we also haven't done on the Nasdaq. So a little bit higher to go maybe, up into that 78.6% fib at about 5,870, and we could go a little bit higher, maybe a poke through there. Notice we've got above the 200 period moving average here, and on the Nasdaq we've got above the 200 as well, quite significantly above it, but we're also back inside this long-term channel and above all the other moving averages as well. So everyone's going to get incredibly bullish, particularly after this gap up and enormous weekend rally based on the China tariff news. So as with all things, there's a lot of hype and exuberance here. Be very, very careful. I'm not saying these markets are going to top here, but I think there's a very good chance. And I'm looking to position short very carefully, very gradually, and without any FOMO, any crazy, weird reaction to what's going on. We've also taken profit on MSTR and Mara and Coinbase. We took profit last week, but we remain long on Tesla, Google, and Target. Now, Tesla has rallied up dramatically, obviously due to the China news because of the very intimate relationship with Tesla and China, but a big move in pre-market, a massive move up to the 100 period moving average. This is into resistance, so we've got to be very careful. I'll be looking to take some profit on Tesla as well, or hedge that position. And Target's doing particularly well in the pre-market as well, gapping up quite solidly, back up into around about the 50 period moving average. So we're still long on those, but now fully hedged on the Nasdaq and the S&P, having taken profit on the long side of the Nasdaq just a few minutes ago. And I think that's all I want to talk about. I'll quickly go through the rest of it. We remain long on the euro, and we were long on the dollar Swiss franc. We've just taken profit on that this morning. That was a good 200 pip profit. We're still long on the euro, and now that profit on the dollar Swiss franc is offsetting the risk on the euro. I'll be looking to add more longs to the euro because I think the dollar index is probably going to top out fairly soon, looking for a move up to about 1.2 on the euro. It's quite a long way above us, almost 1,000 pips. Now, going across to Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum, we're still long. Nothing changed since yesterday. In fact, no movement at all. And on gold, we're moving down into these levels. Now, gold's doing particularly well. We've just taken some profit off here, and I'm going to decide what to do once we reach this level. I still think we could get lower down at least to this trend line and the 50-period moving average. That's down to about 3150 if we do manage to do that. And a break below there will take us even lower, down to about 3000, just above or just below. We could get even lower, down to the 2,700 level. On natural gas, we had a move down after the market opened last night, which was setting off pretty well, but we held the 20-period moving average yet again, just bouncing up from there. So no changes there so far. And also on WTI, we've just taken some profit on this and looking for this to move up again to around about 65 to 67, but we've taken some profit because we are nearing that previous swing high. We got in long much lower down at about $56, so it's a good place to take a decent chunk of profit off there, but I'm holding the rest for a move up to about that $65 to $67 level. And remaining on this page, we're still long on URA. That's also moved higher in pre-market, as has UEC. We're also long on the dollar South African rand, and we're long on TLT. And then on the softs and the grains, nothing really. It's just getting going, really, just starting for the week now, but we're still short on cocoa, coffee, and orange juice, all moving down a bit. And we're long on sugar, soybeans, corn, and cotton, and wheat. And, well, we're just starting off this week. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. Have a great trading day. Hope that quick update was useful for you. See you in the next video. And if you like the video, please subscribe, press the like button, and join the channel if you want to. There's a join button below. For $1 a month, you can be part of this channel. Take care.
Bottom strong, we're in the chase. Click and clack that online race. Sharks go wild, but we own the space. Resistance broke, no time to waste. Rocket fuel, let's up the pace. To the moon, to the stars, don't you fret. Don't stop. Now these